So we want to discuss the importance of rituals. So oftentimes, in personal development, self-improvement, we're looking at setting goals. Like, how can I set a goal and how can I start taking steps towards achieving it? And the truth is goals are big, goals are heavy, and we get distracted, we get kind of caught up in our goals. And Angel and I have found that although goals are important to set and achieve, it is really the rituals, the daily steps that we take towards that goal that are most important. So there's a big difference between goals and rituals, and I think sometimes the line is blurred and we don't see it. The difference, let's say, for a bodybuilder might be, a bodybuilder might want to win a bodybuilding championship, right? So his goal is, or her goal is, let's win that championship. The ritual is, what does the workout routine look like on a daily basis that would put that human being in the condition to be able to compete, right? For a writer, it might be, I want to write a New York Times best-selling book. But the ritual is the daily words they put down on paper, the time they spend in front of the computer writing, let's say, 2,000 words a day. That's the ritual. And the ritual ultimately leads us to the goal.
Yep.
Do you have any other examples maybe?
Yeah, so let me give you an example of a basketball team, right? Because sometimes the goal is so grandiose, it's so big that we end up pushing it off. We're like, oh, I'll start it tomorrow because there's no way I can do all of that today. So we're always so quick to push it off. So let's use an example that kind of gives you a better idea of what the difference is between a goal and the actual ritual to get there. So imagine a sports team, let's say a basketball team, and their ultimate goal is to win the championship game, right? They want to be number one in their area, in their group. And so what is the ritual that is going to get them to the standing on the first place, balcony, where they're holding that trophy? What's going to get them there? And it's going to be the daily practice. It's going to be the practicing with the teammates, doing drills, doing free throws. It's going to be the daily action that they're going to take every day, whether it's by themselves practicing or with their team. And now I want you to imagine that they completely took away the goal of being first place. They erased that goal altogether, but they did the ritual. They practice every single day.
That's a good point.
Just focusing on the ritual, I bet you they're going to get pretty close to achieving that goal, if not be number one, by just focusing on the daily ritual that gets them there instead of focusing on that overarching goal.
And at the very least, they'll be in the condition where they'd be able to do it, and that's the key. Absolutely. Once again, it goes back to the conditioning. The goal is great, the goal is important, but it is the daily ritual, it is the practice that actually puts us in the condition, whether we're talking about a team or an individual. The daily practice is what puts us in the position to at least be able to reach it, right? There's some element of luck maybe at the very end of that. Be a New York Times best-selling author, win the championship. But the daily ritual gives us a chance to grab it. Without the daily ritual, if we're just thinking about the goal and letting the weight of the goal sit on our shoulders and thinking, oh my God, I've got all this to achieve, sometimes that gets in the way. But if we just say, let's move that aside for a second and just focus on the ritual itself. Let's just focus on what we have to do today. And let's just do it again tomorrow. And just keep on going. That's where the magic happens. And so oftentimes we miss that. So think about how that relates to your life and the things that you want to achieve. Perhaps the goals are sitting heavy on your shoulders. Try to brush them aside a little bit. Brush those shoulders off, right? And focus on the ritual. Focus on the practice. Let that become a ritual in your life. Let's say for the next 60 days. And then revisit it in 60 days and see, where are you now in comparison to where you were? My guess is that you're going to be pretty far along. You're going to be a lot closer, like Angel said, to the end result.